What's good, everybody? It is your boy Goated Trades, and I'm back bringing you guys another weekly analysis of the stock market ahead, so you guys are prepared for the week ahead. And this current week is one of the most important weeks of the year. Now, I've been saying that probably for every video, every video that I've probably made in the last month, and it's actually been very important. You know, we've seen not corrections but dips. We've seen buying of the dips. We've seen everything. The last video I kind of talked about us getting some type of relief rally, and that will be what to watch out for. Now, that was about 2 weeks ago, and I didn't make a video last week because, again, I don't know if you guys keep up to date with my channel, you guys know I am in school. I am getting my master's in AI and machine learning. So it is the crunch time. It's finals, and if you guys know anything about finals and stuff, it's hell week. So I've been kind of busy, and I'm actually doing a 4,000 word paper right now. So I end up taking a break from that, so I can go ahead and give you guys content, because I don't want to leave you guys astray, especially for this week, which I think, again, will be one of the biggest opportunities to be making money in the stock market right now. Okay? Now, I'm going to give you guys my trading idea that I'm going to basically talk about after this analysis. So make sure you watch the whole video so you'll have so you can actually take the trade and know why I'm taking this trade, and you can understand. So, like, when things like this happen again, you guys are prepared. Now, I also want to go over how I kind of found the top of the market, and I'll go into like a deeper video when I have more time, maybe next weekend, most likely next weekend or this week. But yeah, there's a lot that I want to go over and have more like tutorials on how to chart and how to find trends and patterns and all that. Like, I want to make those type of videos. So it's going to be coming after this week, because my semester will be over and I could get more time to do more content and more stuff for you guys. Now, that's enough rambling. Let's get into the charts. Let's get into the analysis. So, this week, it's been pretty green, right? This is a pretty green week. We can see that majority of the blocks are actually green, and if you were to look at it from like face value, you would think that we're bullish. We're really bullish, but everything has context, right? So obviously, like, we've had some earnings that went kind of shitty, to say the least. So you have Meta that dropped almost 12%. And we had Netflix the other week, IBM almost 10%. But you would think that this is a pretty decent week, which it has been, but we have to look at the context behind it, right? Within the month starting, we are still red, like very red, bloody red. And energy, all of the names that actually like are the hedgers for a risk off environment are still green, like energy, utilities, non-durables. These are names that usually when you get like red markets, a more risk off market, that these will kind of hold up, because these are your hedgers. These are what big money use to hedge. So right now we are still risk off in this environment, and this will be kind of the thing to keep in the back of your head for all the trades that I'm going to mention in the future of this video. Next, let's go over the earnings, right? So this earnings, we have a pretty decent earnings, to say the least. Last week we had major big tech earnings, and we still have like the back end of that. So Monday, I'm not really checking for Monday. Monday you have some smaller companies, some smaller banks. Yeah, Domino's, if you like trading Domino's. Paramount has a pretty decent quarter, or I think a pretty decent guidance for this quarter, I believe. I'm not too sure, don't quote me on that, but I think like the last time they reported, it wasn't that good, but I think they had like decent guidance for like now. So I think they might perform decently. Who knows? Don't quote me on that, and I'm not gonna do my research right now, and it's too much. I'd rather just get the video out of the way. And Tuesday we have PayPal, Lilly. We have Amazon, AMD, Supermicro. Like, this is a pretty decent week right here. A pretty decent day. So off the bat, I'm gonna let you know right now. Okay, I'm not gonna give you guys my prediction yet. Let's go over like the rest, right? So Wednesday we have Pfizer, we have Qualcomm, QCOM, CVS is gonna be pretty important. Mastercard, that's also important for the XLF names, and that's what I'd be looking for. Some people like looking at Carvana. I don't know why, but that's what you do. That's what you do. Wingstop, people were looking at Wingstop last trading session, last earnings season, I guess. But that's not me. You have Moderna. That's one to look out for. You have Apple, very important. Coinbase, very important. And I like Square, so I'll be looking at that, and also Cloudflare. Cloud names are the one of the staples in this tech revolution, AI revolution, and I'm gonna go into depth. I promise you guys the fundamental of everything. I promise you guys I will. I just haven't had time. Okay. And you closed out with your Friday. Not it's really a nothing burger, but okay. I have been a cool like maybe 7 for 7 for predicting these earnings. I like since the year started, right? Any earnings that I've had predicted that I think would go, and I've publicly said it, or if I've told my Discord, all of them have hit. Now I'm not trying to jinx myself, but but everything has hit. Okay. So I'm gonna give you guys my prediction. You take that with a grain of salt. I'm not saying to trade on these predictions because I'm not trading on these predictions. But if I were to trade anything, which I'm not, I have my own trades I'm looking at. I would definitely. Oh, and I think MSTR should also be trading on Monday after close. Is it here? MSTR, that's a miner for crypto. They should be doing their earnings on Monday after close. I don't know why it's not here, but if I were to, gamble, I would say MSTR for that after close. I would definitely take the puts for that. Same thing with every name in this block here. The only one I'm not too sure about is Amazon, but I think AMD. Actually, no. I think everything in this block here are on the hot seat to be going down, except for AMD. I think AMD gotten beaten up so badly that they might just perform decently for earnings, but I think SMCI is gonna go to the gutters. Me personally, it's been teetering for a while, and as we go through this analysis, you'll see that chips are teetering. And AMD is really on the hot seat, but maybe I'm just saying that's like a toss up. Amazon is low key a toss up too, just because cloud is performing decently at the moment. But just from how the chart looks, in my opinion, I would go with puts for Amazon as well. So basically, all across the board for tech, I'd probably say puts if I'm being real. Qualcomm definitely, I definitely look at that on the downside. Mastercard as well. Just because of how the chart looks, it's sitting right there on resistance. I think it's ready to go down. And the only upside that I probably see that I would trade for calls would probably be Apple. I do think Apple has been beaten up for so long. Like, how low can Apple go? You know what I'm saying? So, if it does end up, performing poorly for earnings, I do see like you finding some type of bottom at least. But I wouldn't trade it at all, but I'm saying like maybe that would be like what the upside opportunity. But I would definitely do it after play earnings. I wouldn't do before play because most of the times Apple don't really do anything for earnings anyways. So I wouldn't even really touch that. But yeah, Coinbase, I definitely see it going lower. Crypto in general looks like it's kind of teetering, looking for some type of correction before you go back up. So that's what I'm looking at. So for the most part, I do think that we are setting up to fall for a lot of these names, and we'll go over it more in depth. Okay, so this week we have some major economic reports and Fed speakers happening. For the most part, I'm not going to really talk too much about consumers' confidence and all that extra stuff. The main thing that matters right now is just Wednesday, right? We have Fed Chair Powell conference. We have FOMC. This is what matters, right? So that's what I'm watching for. Also want to look at like how the unemployment rate is looking. That's going to be important for Friday. Same thing with Thursday, just looking at U.S. productivity and initial jobless claims. The reason why I'm saying like this is the most important and everything else is like kind of following. And if you notice, I've been saying more things that have to do with the actual employment rate is because there's a lot of economic worries about maybe us being not in a recession but a stagflation, which means that the GDP is going down, or the GDP is going down while inflation is going up, and um, basically staying stagnating, like the economy is staying stagnating with U.S. employment, also going down a little bit. So there's a lot of issues that people are looking at. So that's what I'd be watching for. Maybe that would be movers for the dollar or the yields. But I'm not really into the financial aspect of the macroeconomics. I know a little bit, but I'm not that I just read charts, to be honest. But that's what I'd be watching for. Next, let's get into the charts, actually. So we have the dollar and we have the yields. Now, if you guys notice, these videos are basically a lot of the build-ons from like the last video, okay? So in the last video, I kind of talked about how we were about to hit these highs over here that we made from October, right? This is where like your bottom was in October. We went down, like all the way down and stuff. Like it was kind of, worrying for the market. Now, where we're at kind of is we're at this point where we've had that strong move up all the way to this zone where we've hit for like the October zone, but we end up getting some type of flagging formation. Like the dollar hasn't broken down. It's actually just been flagging on the daily. So this flagging on the daily is pretty concerning. This kind of looks like it wants to continue going higher and maybe try to take out this high. Now, if we try to take out this October high on the dollar, which lies around 107.4, dude, if we take out this high, expect the market to be tanking. The market will tank. Now, the reason why is because think about it, right? When we broke previous highs, right? So right here, we end up breaking previous highs on the dollar. Let's pull up NQ right next to it so you can see. And I don't want to make this video too long. I feel like it's already getting kind of longer just because I did a lot of explaining, especially for the earning reports. But this is an important week, so we got to make sure you guys are, in the know. So if you look up here to where we actually broke in September, right? When we broke in September, this previous local highs, which was made for the March 23, when we broke that in September, right? We end up topping here. You see how we start like topping, like we had that relief rally. We start topping, and then when we start topping, we go sideways for a little bit, down, sideways, and crash, right? So we end up actually crashing after we broke out of this local high over here, right? After we broke that local high, we kind of came up, found a new high, kind of tested the high before that, and we end up crashing and finding our bottom. So I expect something like the same thing to happen, right? Where we come up, we'll try to like break this local high here, and just try to break out. And if at that point, if we actually break out, then I do expect some type of sell around here. And I'll go into like the actual NQ chart of where I'll be looking for sells, right? But that's what I'll be looking for. Put that on your charts. Make sure you have your alerts that if we actually break above 107.348, or what was that 107.35, that's your line in the sand. I think that's where the market would definitely start breaking down for real. Another concerning sign is the US yields, right? So this channel is your monthly channel, right? This is like your monthly. Let's go out to the monthly, right? This is your monthly channel, and it's very important that if we break out of this monthly channel, which we actually did, and we end up mounting on top of this support zone, or this demand zone here, if we actually mount this and we continue higher, it looks like we're just forming some type of major cup and handle, right? We're forming some type of cup. If we actually break out of here, then we have this supply zone as a sell. We end up selling down, come for this retest right here in this demand zone here from our local channel, or maybe come down to here from the major channel. But wherever it will be, this will be our handle, and then rally right back up. That would be very concerning. That would be so concerning for the market. This would instigate maybe a larger correction, maybe a crash. You got what I'm saying? Yeah, above 5% is your line in the sand for like you to be very concerned for equities. So that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking to see if something happens here. If we actually break out. If we actually break out, this is going to be pretty concerning. Like, think about it, guys. The last time we broke out and we got up here, we tanked on the market, right? Until we found that bottom. So maybe that might just be the same thing that happens, you know? So that's what I'm watching for. And this is what you should put on your charts as well. Next, let's go to indexes, right? So indexes, right? I kind of talked about how maybe, I don't know if I said it in the last video, but I know I said it in previous videos before. You have two different buy zones here, right? I remember when I said this, before, like the first time I said this and I announced the buy zones here, I remember people were clowning me like, we're not going to see that. Like, why would you even think that? Do you think we're going to crash? This and third. Look, I just chart, guys. I'm not always right. A lot of times I am right, but hey, man, I just chart. But the chart was clearly saying that this is your daily demand zone here. So we actually end up getting to this buy zone. The levels don't change. We end up getting here. We found some type of local bottom, and we curled right back up. You can see it on the daily. This was your demand zone. You see it came down, found support, came up, came right back down, found support again, lower high, and we end up just keep going higher. Now, what I'm watching for right here, this sell zone, right? This sell zone, I believe, will be your lower high test into a break back down at this buy zone right here. That's what I'm looking for. That's what I think will happen, and I'll kind of explain a little bit more in a second. Same thing with ES. I do believe that you're coming up to your supply zone, your sell zone, which is like what, 51, from between 5150 to maybe 5180 to 5200, around here. Like, this area is your sell zone. I do believe that if we come up, we find weakness, expect to sell all the way down to this red zone and possibly to your buy zone at the yearly. So that's what I'd be watching for. And before I actually, go on to the RTY and the Dow, let me show you guys why I think this is the case. And let me show you guys what I've been seeing for the past few months, a couple months. The reason why I've been saying that, what was it? It was in March. The March was echoing July, right? July 2023. So from our top of July 2023, and this is very important. I hope you guys really pay attention to this, right? And I'll have a more in-depth video so you guys can see how to spot this in the future. Okay. So this was our top in July 2023 for the NQ, right? We end up having a whole correction from July 2023 to October of 2023, right? And this instigated a whole 12.5, about 13% correction, right? And this correction, I believe, is about to happen again. I do believe that we're going to have from a 12 to 15% correction. And here's why. So we actually been doing the same exact movement from July 2023, October 2023. Like, it's the same thing. It's like literally the same look of the chart. The same thing, word for word, bar for bar, right? Obviously, there are some different stipulations, but it's the same premise. And I've gone over it before, and I'm going to go over it again after we actually crash. And I'll show you guys how I seen it and how you guys can see it in the future. But for now, let me show you guys what it is, right? So I told my group chat, and this is why you guys should join the Discord. The link is down below in the description. It's completely free, and I'm not selling you a course or anything crazy. Like, it's just a free Discord community, and I'm still building it. It's still in beta, so it's like you're getting the early version, okay? But um, when I looked at this chart, right, we end up making a higher high. We test this like demand zone here. Try to make a higher high. We end up making a lower high. Come back down. We break it. Once we end up breaking this demand zone here, game was on. We came and tried to retest it. We actually did a crash of about 5 to 6%. We came down. We found a bottom right here. And we found that bottom. We came right back up to test this demand zone for a dead cat bounce, and we end up crashing, breaking our demand area here, and coming all the way down for a total of 7% from your dead cat bounce down. Okay. And if we look at the present chart, it's basically the same thing, right? Instead, we have the NVIDIA demand zone that I've been harping on for a while. So we end up coming down, right? We end up coming down. We end up actually, let's do it from right here. We come up, we get a top, we come down, retest, try to break that top. We can't. We come back down to retest another lower high, and then once we actually break this demand zone, we come down. Game is on. We come down, and we crash land right here into this, like, around your January open. And we found some buyers, which is our dead cat bounce. We found a little weakness, come back up, and now we are at this area where we are trying to look for sellers. Now your sellers are going to be around this area, around this 17.9 to maybe your demand zone, your NVIDIA demand zone, to 18.50. 18.050. So that's what I'm watching for. So around here is where I'd expect sellers to step in. Somewhere around here. It's not going to be 100% exact, but this is where I'd expect it. We should come right back down into our, remember, this was our previous buy zone. I don't have it written because we already used the buy zone. So our next buy zone is going to be down here to about 16.8. Okay. So that's what I'm watching for. And then from there, you'll probably get some type of dead cat bounce again, because we got the same thing. Let me show you. We got the same thing here. Came up for another dead cat bounce, and we went even lower. So I do expect the same thing to happen, where we get our dead cat bounce around here. Boom. Maybe we test this supply zone, or we test our meta supply zone. I'm probably betting on the meta one. This is where we actually sold off from our meta earnings, and this is going to be like our line in the sand. So if we actually, boom, we sell from that meta supply zone, I do believe we'll come right back down, break our low, and probably find some type of bottom for our 12, 13%, maybe even 15% correction down here at 16.2. Now this also matches up with our all-time highs, our previous all-time highs in 2023, which is right here. That's why we have our buy zone here. It matches up within this area. Boom, right? It matches up from that area, and it also matches up from like the previous shoulder of that move as well, if we actually come down to the 16.2. So there are like some pretty good opportunities right now in the market that you should be watching, right? And this video is getting long, but hey, this is a very important video, and hey, guys, pay attention, because I believe like this is a very, very, very high probability trade right here, okay? So it's the same thing happening with the ES. Like I said, it's basically the same thing. So you're going to be watching for this test right here of maybe your 5200, or maybe your, what is this, your 5187, or it could be 5165. It's around here. It's like around this zone. It's hard to like actually pick where the top's going to be. I don't have a crystal ball, but it's going to be around here. So this is where you want to look for weaknesses. And of course, the target is going to be, your first take profit is going to be somewhere around here at this 49.60 to 49.30. And your main target is going to be between 48.85 to 47.65. Okay. That's what you're looking for. And yeah, this is important, man. This is an important chart that you guys should be paying attention to. And yeah, man, I'm giving you guys the sauce. Now um, RTY and the Dow, right? I don't want to go in depth with these because you're just sitting here, right? You're really just creating some type of bear flag if you think about it. So you have this long. Let's go to the weekly, right? So you have this long two sell candles. You know, you try to find the bottom, but these are indecision candles. If we do like on a daily, you are kind of flagging right here. Where's my okay, so you are kind of flagging. So you could just end up going lower. And this kind of has some type of confluence for a potential head and shoulder reversal, going lower down to about 3700. RTY kind of similar, but RTY is kind of harder to pinpoint. That's why I haven't really paid too much attention to it. But you, I'd see what happens if you can like break this 2030, then your next move is gonna be right here for this 2090 area. This is where I definitely see sellers trying to bring you down lower. But if you fail this 2030, then I do believe you're going to take out lows and come down to this 1832 area. So that's what I'm watching for the for indexes in general. So now let's go to the tech chart. So tech charts look pretty. Let me look at the time. We're kind of straight. 25, 26 minutes. It's not bad. I went through a lot today. Okay. So now let's go through our tech, right? So we have the neckline break here on big tech. We have sort of some weakness here on the QQQs and on the XLK, right? So this is concerning to me because I've been talking about this neckline here for a while. And I thought we were going to break down a long time ago on this name, but we end up, I thought this was going to be our head and shoulders pattern right here to break this neckline, but we end up using it as demand and we came higher. So that just created your head. So I thought that was your shoulder, I guess. But no, this is your head, right? So at this point, you want to see if we can get some type of weakness here, which we have been getting, right? So we got this, we got a low. We came and we tested your lower high right here. We sold. We broke this low, made a lower low, and now we're potentially trying to make a lower high right here. So if we end up making that lower high, on big tech, I definitely think we're gonna try to test this buy zone. Big tech does look very weak, and we do have a couple more earnings for big tech. We have Apple and Amazon, which those are toss-up names that could go either way. I do think Amazon is ready to go down, so I definitely think that we have a chance to go even lower here. So this will be my buy zone between 27.30 and 26.35. With XOK, I do think XOK is also setting up for some type of move. Now, you are sitting on your weekly support, all right? Every time you hit the support zone area here, you've bounced. So if we don't actually bounce here, then we're just going to change trend. We're going to change trend, and we can expect some type of movement all the way down to a test of, I think I have written down 180, a break under 180. Let me go ahead and take out my handy dandy tool. A break under 180 should come down to this neckline area. Boom, and that is going to be 160. Possible lower high test into this 180 area, and maybe come right back down into this demand on your monthly chart. So you'll essentially create some type of head and shoulders. That's what I'm looking at. I think it looks pretty apparent. It's basically the same setup as right here in your 2021. So yeah, this is what it kind of looks like to me, but on a larger scale. So XOK kind of looks very concerning, like it's probably ready to go low, but who knows? We're gonna have to watch that develop. QQQ, I do think. Let me go ahead and open up QQQ full screen so you guys can see. I want you guys to actually zoom out so you guys can see the QQQ chart, right? So this is your QQQ chart. It has been kind of doing this accordion pattern, which you, let me go ahead and show you. Let me erase this real quick so you can see. So accordion patterns are like kind of like you oscillate and you just keep widening out like your channel and kind of create like a new, you kind of create like a new broader channel. You know what I'm saying? Like a new broader price action move. So that's what you've been kind of doing for ever now, for a very long time, and this could still continue, you know. So that's why I still have this, like, that's why I have this line here that kind of acts as some type of like area that I want to kind of pay attention to, maybe for a midterm bounce, you know, a longer term bounce. So I do believe that if the NQ thing happens that I just told you, then you have a few areas to where you can actually get involved in some trades, right? So here I have written down, let me go ahead and pull it up. It's on my notes right here. And it's on my Discord. So if you guys, you know, want to follow the Discord, you can. But at this stage, I do think that, boom, your 433 entry to 435 is where you would want to look for actually shorting this thing. And your TP1 is going to be 415 to 396 to 390 will be your third TP, but your target is going to be 380, right? And I'm going to go over the SPY one after. But let me go ahead and show you. Boop, 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 boop. Let's go ahead and show you on the weekly. Okay, so like I said, your 433 test is going to be up here. It's going to test your NVIDIA demand zone. Well, now it's now supply, but your NVIDIA demand zone right here. So about 433 to 435. You end up breaking down. If you take out this low, which your low was like the 415 target that I was talking about. If you take out that low, then you have room to, what did I say, 396. That's going to be your, this is going to be your next target. That 396 is going to be your next target. If you get some type of bounce after that, which I do think you'll get some type of bounce, some type of relief, I look for that 420, 415-ish area as your retest. And then your breakdown again into your buy zone all the way down to your 350, 360 area, right? That's what I'd be watching for. But yeah, that's what I'd be watching for. Yeah, this is basically my kind of target. My target is around 380 to 360. So that's what I'd be watching for. See if we get some type of action like that. But yeah, that's basically what I see for QQQ. You guys could take that trade if you want. That's up to you. That's what I'm doing. Next, let's go over, I'm going to go over the SPY in a second, but let's go over chips, right? Very important. I do believe that chips are ahead of the market. Chips always has been ahead of the market. It leads the market. So I think chips probably going to sell in the start of the week. I do think that we are already seeing weakness here at this supply area, kind of similar to your NVIDIA demand zone, which is you already crossed it. You're already just, retesting it basically. So if we get some type of sell here, I do believe that, yeah, like some type of sell here, you do have opportunity to rip all the way down to 195 area. Maybe maybe you might dead cat bounce and retest this January close around 185. So that's what I'm watching. I'm watching for that 185 push lower after you take out this low right here. XSD is pretty much doing nothing at this point. I do think that if you don't get back over 230, that you're just gonna curl down. Same thing, like maybe take out this low. And if you break out this lower channel, then you look kind of bad. I'm not gonna lie, like you look kind of bad. SOXX very similar to SMH. They're basically very identical. It looks like it's ready. It's ready. Like you're getting the retest. You're getting the retest of the zone already. So that's how it works. You usually get a breakout, then a retest, and then you break out again. And this is gonna be your area that you want to see us like actually get lower. If we actually get lower, your target's gonna be 185 around here. Maybe get some type of relief bounce into a lower low. So that's what I'm watching for both of these charts. And yeah, I do think chips are teetering, and that's why I was saying SMCI, AMD, you look kind of spooky. Okay, so SPY is probably going to be one of my favorite trades, and this is just me going over what I'm watching for the week and like basically the essence of my trading. I do think that this is going to be like my largest trade that I take this week. I do have like some NVIDIA put ideas, and I'll probably go over it on my X account. So follow me on Twitter on X. That is Goated Trades. It's down below in the description, and you can see all my you can see, guys. Look. I gave some, I gave some secret sauce. You know what I'm saying? Let's see. Do. Yeah, this is my thing right here. I gave some secret sauce for the Nvidia. I said it on the 20th or the 19th of March that it is time to short the beast. And look, I even had a hater come on my thing, and he ended up deleting it. So we end up actually getting all the way down to our 750 target, like I said. So yeah, I'll be posting it on X. Some more trade ideas for individual names, so make sure to follow me. I did the same thing for Apple. So yeah, just make sure to follow me. I got some ideas and shit for you guys. Even some like long-term trade ideas. But yeah, here, right? This is the trade idea of the century that I'm watching for. This can make you so much money. Like, this will make you bank, right? So if we get some type of bounce on the SPY, right, which I do think we will, we might come lower, we might bounce, right, on the daily, right? So maybe on the first 2 days we might try to come lower, spike up. If we get to this 512 area, like between 512 to 513, 515, like around this area here, if we get to this area, this is where I'm hammering puts. I'm hammering puts here. I'm targeting. I'm not too sure which expiration I'm getting, but I know for the first wave of selling, I do think that we're gonna come down all the way to at least your 590 area, but my target is gonna be all the way down here to my 480 level. Like, this is gonna be like my target, 480, around there. So that's what I'll be watching for. Same thing on the SPX is gonna be around this 4880, 4800 area. That's what I'm watching for. I think this is gonna be like a very, very easy trade. If you get some type of relief bounce around here, you could come back and trade it again, like some type of retest either right here or right here. It depends on like how the chart develops. At that time, we'll kind of know at the time, like as it develops, until like even a deeper pullback here, maybe to this area of 4700. Like, I'm looking for the long term, man. This looks like a pretty easy trade, like a layup. You get what I'm saying? So this is the trade I'm watching for. Again, I have it written down right here. If you guys want to just take a screenshot, you want to look at it. Whoops. Let's go back to Discord. Boom. So I do think this is your winning trade. So yeah, right here. For SPY. And if you notice that I accidentally put TP3 for 415, that's not true. It's actually supposed to be 455 instead of 415. So yeah, sorry for that. But yeah, entry around 512, 515. TP1 495, TP2 470, and your TP3 or your target is going to be around 455. That's your lowest of the low. Now, I don't know if you're going to get that low, but hey, how low can you go at this point? Because if you do get a correction, let's say we do get, because this is just me instigating a 10% correction, right? I said in the video that we're looking at like a 12 to a 15% correction. So you can possibly get all the way down here to a 15% correction. Like that's not off the table. You can get, even if we line it up to the shoulder here, you can get that 450 push, maybe that 455 push, even your 458. So it's like there's really no I can't time the bottom for sure, but I could give you like an estimate. So that's what I'm looking for. If you guys, follow the trade, good luck to you guys, but that's what I'm going to do. Okay. But anyways, guys, that's basically all I'm looking at the moment. So if I get any other trade ideas, again, I'll let you guys know on X. Follow me on X. Also, follow the link in the description to my Discord. Join the community. We go crazy in there every day. Anyways, it's been your boy Goated Trades with the Straw Hat Trading Channel. And with that being said, I hope you guys enjoy. And I'm out. Stay green on the week and stay positive. Peace.